Hey guys, Pete over here, Craigslist Hunter. So it's time for me to make this kind of video. Oh, this table is shaking and making this camera shake. This is not good. Let me start over. Hey guys, Pete over here, Craigslist Hunter. So I haven't made this type of video in a while. The video that I show items that actually sold, what I bought them for and what I sold them for. Actually, I did make one about a week ago or so, but YouTube, for some reason, after one day, made me take it down. I use this background music with JFK's speech in the background, and I guess YouTube did not like that, so they made me take that video down. So I figure I make a new one. I picked probably about 10 cool items that I sold within the last 4 or 5 weeks or so. These are very interesting items, meaning that you would never expect that this kind of stuff can bring such a crazy money. So, but one disclaimer here, guys, before I start talking about these items, because you guys always kind of rip me to pieces on, on the profit, how I calculate the profit. Yes, I know there's eBay fees involved, there's shipping, there's PayPal fees, there's time to get the item and stuff like that. So you can figure out your own way. I got my own way, so I'm just gonna show you what I paid and what they sold for. You can figure out your own numbers. But these are very cool, so let's get in right to it. Alright, so the first item, guys, that I want to show you, very interesting because normally, these PlayStation 3 console systems don't sell for a whole lot of money anymore. Since PlayStation 4 came out, the PlayStation 3 automatically drops. But there's some models that bring actually very decent profits because they're called backwards compatible. And what it means that the PlayStation 3 units will play the older games, they will play the PlayStation 2 games, and they will also play the PlayStation 1s. Not all of them are backwards compatible. You have to know which ones are, and you need to have the model number that it's on the back of the unit. You can go on Sony's website and they list. If you Google it, you can type in PlayStation 3 backwards compatible, and it will take you right to Sony website that they list all the models that actually are backwards compatible. And if you ever find one, they can bring some very, very good money. If you find a unit that it's in really good condition and no scratches and close to being mint condition, they'll bring over $300. This one that I sold here sold for $229 with the free shipping on this one. We paid $45 for this unit. Now, it had a ton of scratches. It was overall rough condition. The front flap that goes up and down was completely gone, but it was still fully functional. So if you ever run in, it's worth looking it up, the model number on the back. This one is CECHA01. Like I said, go on Sony's website and they will list which ones, I think 20 gig, 60 gig, and 80 gig. Some of them will be backwards compatible. The ones with higher gigabytes are not. So it's a very interesting item. Alright guys, the second item I'm gonna show you, it's super interesting because I actually use this myself. I have similar, not exactly this model, but I have actually 4 of these radios that I use between my friends when we go fishing on our boats. These Motorola two-way radios, when you run into this stuff, you have to look it up, the models, because some of this stuff will bring crazy money. What's nice about these, not only that the range is pretty good on them, I mean they'll work pretty far apart, but also the batteries, they're in those rechargeable batteries, they hold charge pretty good. Sometimes all day long they'll stay on, and and people love using them, especially hunters and fishermen and stuff like that. But these were used actually in some kind of factory or some kind of plant. They were in horrible condition. They were beat up. They had some kind of paint overspray on a couple of them, you know. So obviously some kind of maintenance guys were using them. Now I picked those up for $30, 3 radios with 2 chargers, sold within like 1 day, $240 with free shipping. So you have to look this stuff up. The Motorola radios, you know, and these are, believe, like 89 channels. Well, I'm sorry, 89 different frequencies, 8 channels UHF. A lot of people look for those, you know, they're high quality radios. Yeah, 89 selectable UHF frequencies, 39 analog and 83 digital. So if you ever run into this kind of stuff, definitely look them up, because you know they bring very, very good money. All right, this next item, guys, this is an item that it's super expensive when it's new. This is made by Hawkeye. It's a Borescope. This one is 17 inches. This tool is designed for looking into rifle or gun barrels. It's 17 inches long. You can stick it into inside your barrel and you can see any corrosion or anything that is happening with your gun. This particular unit, when it's new, it's almost $1,000, like 900 to 1,000, depends when you look. I bought this for $100 off the guy, and there was nothing available for sale, and I saw quite a few of them, but not very often. You know, there would be like 1 or 2 a month that sell within the last 3 months. So I knew right away that this is pretty hot item. And once again, this sold almost immediately, $549 with the free shipping. Most of them were selling right in that range, between $500 to $600 used. If you run into the longer one, like 22-inch one, that one is even more money. There's some that are shorter, they're like 9 or 12-inch, but this one was 17-inch. Great profit. This is something that you guys should jot it down in your notebook for future reference. If you ever run into something like this, it's worth paying it up a little bit, because this is an instant sale. Like I said, this one sold for $549, and I paid $100 for it, so it was a great profit on that one. Alright guys, this next item may be not super glamorous thing, but I sold these over the years many times, and they always sell good. They're pretty expensive when they're new, but these time clock punch stamp recorders, you know, you have them in different factories or warehouses when employees punch in their cards. This one I picked up for $10. I walked into my shop, sold for $110 with $20 shipping. Just keep an eye on those. You know, you can find them at flea markets. Once in a while you'll find them at the thrift shop. So good sellers. I don't know why, but they always sell good. So one of those items that you should jot it down in your notebook for future reference if you ever run into them. This next item, guys, super high-end equipment. This is Emotiva power amplifier. This is XPA3. This is the second time I sold this unit. A lot of guys love this kind of stuff. Now this one I paid up a little bit. I paid $200. This came into my shop, was in excellent condition. Had one tiny scratch on one corner. It really didn't change the value of the unit. Really tiny, you could barely see it. Now this is high-end equipment, and audiophile guys just love this. You know, this will sell brand new roughly around $1,200. So write that name Emotiva in your little notebook if you ever run into this. I paid $200 sold for 600 bucks, and it sold like instantly. I priced it pretty aggressive. There was few of them out there available at the moment for like $650, $700 range. I priced mine at 600 because of that little tiny scratch. A lot of guys want to have the quality equipment with kind of pristine condition, so I priced this one a little bit cheaper, but you know, sold immediately. Very, very cool stuff. I actually hooked this up in here to some nice set of speakers just to test it out, and this thing puts out amazing sound. So Emotiva, high-end equipment, very, very cool. Made some good money on this one. All right, this next item, guys, you've probably seen it in my previous video. This was actually video shot a couple weeks back when I acquired a watch. One lady came in to sell me this particular watch, and I think I paid $5 or maybe $5.75 for it. Yeah, I think it was $5.75. Now this Tech Heuer watch was not running, meaning it needed a new battery. So what I did with it, I took it to my jeweler. He opened it up, cleaned the whole mechanism inside, put a new battery in, did the whole polishing job on it. This watch came out absolutely beautiful. I mean, like brand new. Really looked nice. And that's what made me decide to list this watch a lot higher than I originally wanted to. Originally my price was gonna be about $1,100–1,200. That's what I was gonna ask for it. Like I said, I paid $5.75 and I was hoping to double my money, but after he did the overhaul of the watch, plus remember, this little guy had 63 little diamonds in it, almost a half a carat of diamonds. And it was spectacular. Had all the paperwork, the box, the CD, the warranty card. So I decided to list this thing for $1449.95, and maybe took, I don't know, 2-3 days to sell. Yeah, about 3 days. I had a bunch of questions. A lot of people were interested in it. High quality product. Very happy. Probably one of the best sales so far this month, beginning of May. Very satisfied how it turned out, and big props to my jeweler for making this thing look like freaking brand new. So this was a very good flip. Don't be scared, guys. If you know what you're looking at, if you can invest a little bit of money and you can turn it to some great profit. Very happy how this thing turned out. All right, this next one, I love these old vintage phones, the rotary phones. I sell them all the time. If I can buy one, doesn't matter what the condition is, they sell really good. This one is from Western Electric. It's a Bell system, rotary phone, the one that would accept 5 cents, 10 cents, and a quarter on an upper slot. Has a bank at the bottom. Had the original card inside the actual phone with like emergency numbers, all that stuff. Paid $50 for this phone. Every time I get them, they sell right away. Very good buys. Keep your eyes open on these rotary phones, you know, and you can find them all the time, like at flea markets. I run into this stuff all the time. Great sell. It's definitely worth spending a few bucks. Most of the time people buy them for decoration, so even if they are not in working order or you're missing a key to open the bank, it's worth picking them up. Yes, a little bit bulky. They are heavy. This thing is probably about 20–25 pounds maybe. Shipping $39.95 on this one, no problem. Somebody paid. Great money makers, guys. Always pick up these rotary phones, and even not these standard desk phones, rotary phones. They all sell really good. It's a hot vintage item. All right, this next item, guys, this was unbelievable profit for me. One of my guys picked this up. It came into the shop, and very rarely somebody brings high-end equipment, audio equipment, still in original boxes. So this was a big deal when this came in. You have three different components here. There's a main amp, that's the big unit that you guys see on a picture. It's a big amplifier from Yamaha. Then you have the preamp, and you also had a tuner with this. So it's a complete set. The only thing that was missing on this, for some reason, there was no manuals with this. Original boxes, original like sleeves to put the units in, and the styrofoam and everything, but no manuals. This we got this really cheap. I could not believe how cheap my guys got this. We paid $110. This was part of the trade and cash. I listed it first, I think, for like $11.50, okay, and I think I let it sit there for like 2 weeks. Yeah, I did 2 weeks. I think I did $11.50 and then $1100, and it did not sell. I had ton of interest, and I was debating, should I let this at the auction and see what it would bring, or should I do a buy it now? And decided that I'm not gonna do the auction on this particular item, that I'm gonna wait it out, because it was a little bit kind of hit and miss. Most of the time you only see people selling the main big amplifier, and those could bring, you know, like $600, $700, $800. Not many people are selling the whole set, so I lowered the price to $950, and it sold immediately. With the $95 shipping, because, you know, you got three big boxes, pretty heavy. The main amp is about 45 pounds. The other two units very light, but the main unit was very heavy. I already got a feedback from the guy, super happy. I mean, this was like mint condition, like nobody ever used this. It was so clean. So this was a fantastic flip. Surprisingly, the late 80s, early 90s audio equipment, it doesn't bring a whole lot of money, but if you have something really high-end, especially like from Yamaha, or, you know, those quality companies, it will generate some big profits, especially the big amps. You know, they bring very good money. So always keep an eye, if you guys can, on Yamaha products, even from the 90s. You know, it will generate some decent money. I was ecstatic on the money that we made on this. Now this one right here, guys, you might have seen this. I know I posted this in one of the Facebook groups, and I think I posted on my Snapchat. This was a big lot of fishing lures, mainly musky lures. I bought this collection right here of like 60 pieces plus, a bunch of different smaller lures, about 6 fishing rods and couple reels. This guy sells to me all the time. Beginning of like mid-spring, he shows up at my shop. He's a professional fisherman that does a bunch of tournaments every year, and he gets stocked up on all this, you know, equipment and the lures basically from free. He gets all these sponsors, and they just give him the baits, you know, they give him the lures, and every year he gets more and more and newer models. So he unloads all the stuff from a previous year, and a lot of this stuff is like brand new, never hit the water, you know, a lot of these lures, because he gets so many. So I end up picking up the whole lot, everything, you know, these, the different lures, the rods, the reels, for $350 from him. Now the fishing rods, most of them I will sell already. A couple of them sold in a shop. The reels I'll sell in the shop. And the other fishing lures, the whole lot, I already sold for $250 to one of the local guys who comes into my shop. So this this collection right here sold for $450. It was on for like 4 or 5 days, had a ton of viewers, ton of questions. This was a great buy for somebody. You know, me, myself, being a fisherman, I know exactly what this stuff is worth. And the picture doesn't do the justice here, because all these lures that you guys are looking at the picture here, they're big. They're 10, 12, 11, some of them are 16 inches long, especially the bulldogs, the rubber ones. They're very long, and they're very expensive. They're $25, $30 a piece lures, you know. So for somebody to pick this lot up for like $450 was a great buy. I'm very happy how this transaction went. I haven't received the feedback from the person yet, but I'm sure he would be very happy, because if I would buy this for myself as a fisherman, I would be ecstatic for this price. I could have probably got a little bit more money out of this. I could have priced this probably around $550, $500, and I would probably get it. But it was a quick flip, so I'm very, very happy. All right, guys, this is going to be the last items I'm going to show you. This Hawkeye AX professional synthesizer. I do really good with the vintage, you know, keyboards as synthesizers. There's a huge market for it. They don't come up very often, and when they do, they bring great money. Now this one, I picked up the whole lot, and I was showing you guys in a previous video that I bought a lot of broken stuff, you know. I have one here sitting on top that it's listed that it's broken, just being sold for parts. I have a couple more that I'm gonna be listing. I also bought like 4 reel-to-reel decks from this guy. So all this equipment, I got it from him for like $350 or $360, I can't remember now exactly. But it was a really good deal. He's a local picker, and he brought all this stuff to my shop. We made a great deal. This was really the only item that I could kind of test. This Hawkeye AX80 would power on, would show, you know, the LCD bar graphics would light up on it. But other than that, I couldn't test all the functions on it. I just didn't have the right hookups from the back, so I can test if everything worked correctly. So we listed as very limited testing, meaning that we power the unit on, and that's about it. Now Hawkeye, this was, I think, one of the first professional Hawkeye units that came out in early 80s. One of the first synthesizers, and this vintage stuff, you know, from AX80, AX60, I think there was AX73 that I sold before too. They always bring good money. Now when these are in good condition, they can bring, you know, really good money, up to even $1,000. I remember I had the AX like 73, like in beautiful condition, and I think I sold it for like $850 about a year ago or so. This one was rough, super rough, a lot of scratches, a lot of dings, dangs, dirty. So originally I listed this unit, I think, for like 480 or 490, something like that. Buy it now. For a week I had extremely big amount of watchers and views. I had like 600-700 views on it within a week, and like 30 or 40 people watching. So, and I knew it was a little bit priced up there for the condition that it was in. So I decided to put this on the auction, let it rip, and see what happens. I was pretty confident that it should at least bring, you know, around that 350, 400 mark, because at 480 it was a little bit overpriced. So it ended up on a 7-day auction with 19 bids, sold for $442 with a $50 shipping, and of course went to California. The shipping was like 45 bucks, so it was just right on. But yeah, guys, don't be scared buying stuff like this. If there's an opportunity to make money on this vintage electronics, do it. Yes, you're gonna say there's always problem returns. Not true. If you know roughly how to test this stuff, yes, you will have a small percentage of returns, okay? I average about 1.5 to 2% returns on my electronics, which is peanuts, really. If you test your stuff good and if you disclose everything, you should have no problems. As you guys seen, a lot of stuff that I showed here, the 10 items that I showed on this video today, most of them were electronics. I do really well. Don't be scared to go out of your comfort zone. There's a lot of money to be made in electronics, especially vintage stuff. There's a lot of collectors. There's a lot of, like this particular synthesizer here. You know, guys love this kind of stuff, the musicians, you know. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you take something out of this. I hope you jot down all this stuff in your little notebook to, you know, what to look out when you're hunting at the garage sales and flea markets and thrift stores and pawn shops, you know. Stuff like this especially you can come across at pawn shops all the time, and you can negotiate and get some good deals. So, and not many people want to, you know, deal with this online because it's big, bulky to ship. I don't have a problem with it. I do it all day long. It's great money in it. So go out there, guys. Hammer that stuff and you can make some good profit. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, show some love, give me some thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Till next time, guys. Cheers.